Hi everyone. So just a short commentary really. I get fairly regular criticism from certain quarters about the cost of the equipment, some of the equipment that appears on Oxford Shortwave log, and I get it. The Kenwood TS990s, like in the UK, new £6,000. They're sort of £3,000 or £4,000 second hand. The Icon ICR 8,600 is £2,500. The ELAD FTM Duo is £800 or £900. But I am surprised as to how regularly I'll get a message from, well, usually not a subscriber actually, that something along the lines of, well, it's all right for you, that costs this much, I can't afford that, most of us don't have deep pockets, etc, etc, etc. And like I said, I get that. The financial demographic in across the world is very, very different. What annoys me is that usually these comments are from people that have never actually commented or posted a comment on any of the videos on my channel at all. So the first comment they post is negative, which is annoying. And secondly, whilst I understand that not everybody can afford expensive equipment, I get as much enjoyment out of using something as cheap as this, which was actually free. If you want to buy one, they're like £100, as I do working as sked on my Kenwood or listening to something on my Icon on IC 8600. And I think that's pretty clear. What else? When I travel, I use a Texan PL 880, which is, what are they now? £180, something like that. So I understand why people want to moan. I sort of get that, but what I don't understand is, what do they want me to do about it? Do they want me to, have a limit in terms of what stuff costs that I'm going to actually share on the channel? I'm not going to do that. So, don't complain to me. Go and complain to your bank manager or your employer, or, I understand that people want the best stuff. I'm fortunate that I can afford it. But then I've been working for like 30 years, I'm not 18 anymore. So, I've got a good job and I can afford to buy this stuff. And, I sense that 99% of the people that follow the channel enjoy the fact that, I use cheap equipment as much as I use really expensive equipment, and I haven't got a problem with it. But it does annoy me when some people will just post, a comment, well, that's, you've obviously got more money than sense, or, that kind of thing. Now, you probably don't see those because to avoid abuse from trolls getting into the public domain, I changed the settings on the channel a long time ago such that when you guys comment, I authorize every comment before it goes public. And I'm sorry I had to do that, but you just get trolls that are either jealous or got an axe to grind, and I didn't want to allow that. So which is why when you post a comment, you probably don't see it straight away. But I tend to review them pretty quickly unless they're overnight. And which is why, when I get the odd troll complaining about I've got too much money or whatever, then you don't see that because I just delete it, and it never gets to be seen by you guys. So I just want to make that comment. And it happened again recently, and it just made me realise that on a regular basis I do get criticism because of the cost of this equipment that a lot of us use. And it's not my fault that stuff costs that much. And if I choose to spend my money buying some of this equipment, then that's what I'm going to do. Other people who can't afford it, maybe they have 5 holidays a year, I don't know, but I would just make that point. But a final comment: a lot of us radio amateurs are kind of obsessed with the weather, and I know a lot of my friends in the hobby have weather stations, and you can spend a lot of money on a weather station. Now, to appease those people that think that everything I buy has got to be the best and the most expensive, in the UK there's a shop called Menkind. It's kind of a gadget shop, and actually calling it Menkind is probably, in this woke culture of 2025, is probably sort of reverse sexist, I don't know. But It's called a Red 5 LED weather station. I bought it myself and it's 20 quid, okay? 20 quid. So this isn't an expensive piece of kit. It's got a built-in pressure sensor. So it measures the atmospheric pressure and uses that to forecast the weather, cloudy and rain, which is actually, well, it was correct a few hours ago. It's not actually correct now. The relative humidity and indoor temperature. So in here it says it's 17 degrees, although my clock on the wall actually says 20, but then I guess it's warm air rises. And then there's an external sensor that it connects to, which is actually outside in the shed, which says it's right now it's about 0 degrees outside. So so there you go. And for the sake of 20 quid, it runs off 5 volts USB or AAA batteries. So I've set it up on AAA batteries for now, and that's probably why I have to keep refreshing the backlight on the screen. Day, date, etc. time. It's a nice bit of kit for 20 quid. So there you go. So for those of you that think I've got more money than sense, I've got one of the cheapest weather stations money can buy in my shack. And that was a joke, but you know, it is a nice bit of kit, and I actually do recommend this. I mean, I don't know whether you can buy it online, internationally probably, but in the UK, Mankind is a well-known shop, and I think they were 25 actually. They've gone down to 20 quid, and it's I set it up. It all works perfectly well. So that's my recommendation. And for those of you, yeah, who think that I've got more money than sense, that's your opinion. I actually think that I spend my money wisely, and I always spend what I can afford. I don't owe any money to anybody. I'm not in any debt. So if you're watching one of my videos and you're thinking, wow, that's expensive, well, it's because I can afford it and didn't have to borrow any money to buy the thing. So that's just how it is. And anyone who feels like commenting on that can do so, but I don't acknowledge trolls. Your posts just get deleted, so save yourself some energy and don't bother tapping the keyboard. Anyway, as for the rest of you guys, thanks very much. Happy New Year. Thanks for your support of the channel through 2024 and previous years. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate the comments. I try to answer every comment as best I can. And whilst, as long as I can, I will continue with Oxford Shortwave Log and use the equipment that I want to use and not be dictated to by anyone else. So anyway, thanks for that. All the best. 73.